The business programming that we see today that has entrepreneurs considering whether to invest in other entrepreneurs is really interesting because it gives us some insight into why an investor would put money into a company. But I think one of the things that is also quite interesting about it is it really illustrates why someone would invest in another person, period. You don't have to be starting a company to learn a lot in these situations that will help you understand how to position yourself to get friends, family, people outside of your friends and family, institutions, organizations, and partners to invest in what you're doing. Getting other people to participate is a big part of your success. And if you don't know how to do that and can't do that, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to grow anything in this world. You have to get clients, you have to get partners, you have to get staff, team members, maybe board members. You have to get others to buy into what you're doing. So there are three things that I see that are very important when you're trying to get others to buy into what you're doing and invest in you. And all of these things are really based on alignment. Is there an alignment in these areas? Let's go through the three. The first is vision and values. It's very easy if someone has the same values you have and has the same vision that you have to get them to support you. In fact, that's where an angel investor in a company, someone who is not a professional investor but has some money saved or some resources, will put money into a company, and that's because they like the values, they like the vision of the person. And this is often linked also to the person individually. So the person is someone that they would invest in. The person is someone they admire. It's the person that they think won't let them down. And this is an important component here because when an entrepreneur, for example, is starting a business, they obviously have the best intentions. They're going to do everything they can to make it grow, but often things won't work out. So if you have someone who is aligned with your values and your vision, that person is not going to look at this and say, okay, this didn't work, and so where's my money? Or force you into bankruptcy, or wind up in a lot of conflict. I know entrepreneurs, for example, who have had people who have backed them and supported them, and one venture didn't work, and then 10 years later, something worked, that person participated, or maybe even didn't participate, but they got some rewards out of what the entrepreneur was doing later. So that whole idea of connecting with the right person who is thinking in the right way is so important. And no matter whether you're developing a business, a nonprofit, whether you're doing something locally for the community, whatever it is you're doing, getting someone who is aligned with the vision and has the same values is going to be the best bet in terms of getting investment. Now, the second alignment is really an alignment of network, an alignment of experience. It's an alignment of those other things that make a business successful. So someone who doesn't have experience in a particular area is probably not going to want to invest, at least cash anyway, into a business that they know very little about and don't have a network that can support that business. So that's really the next phase of investment. Someone who looks at what you're doing and says, I've got some experience in this area. I can help them. I have some knowledge in this area. This is something that is going to align with who I am and the people I know and in my background. So that is the next phase. So, maybe they have a love for the arts, for example, so they're going to invest in someone who is putting together a recording studio or their career or their music school or so forth, because they have some experience in that area and they have a network in that area. Now, the third piece here that you have to be aligned with, and this is where professional investing often becomes this is where a professional investor is really going to make these things very, very important. And those are the financial components. How much has this person who's doing this, how much have they put in? What kind of equity can I get out of this deal? How quickly will this venture grow? Does it have the potential to grow to 50 million, 100 million? You know, when you see these technology investments, they're not looking for something that's going to grow to $1 million or grow to $500,000, you know, to be a small company. They're looking for something that's going to have dramatic growth that's going to happen quickly, and something that's going to have an impact on the culture so that the business will not be just one of many, it's going to be one of a few, or maybe the only one that's doing it. So that is the other component, the financial component. And of course, with that also comes the issue of exit strategy. You've probably heard the term. If you're an investor or an entrepreneur, you know the term. It essentially means, how will that person get their money out? Will they get it out as a result of a sale of the company? Will they get it out as a result of being bought out or merged? Or what's going to happen? Is it going to go public? What's going to happen that's going to enable the investor who's putting money into that company to get out? Now, the fascinating thing about all of these levels, the alignment in terms of value and vision, the alignment in terms of network and experience, and the alignment in terms of financial rewards or financial performance, this is no different than anything that you're doing. People are going to be want to be aligned in this area. So before you go out and ask someone to help you do something, to support you in some way, to participate in some way, even to introduce you to someone, keep in mind, this is what people want. They don't, they want to know that on these various levels, there's a fit. And if there's no fit, you'll have to speak to someone else and figure out someone else who will potentially be a partner. So I hope that clears up for you why someone would invest in you, whether it's a growing company or whether it's a growing career. If you like this tip, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. I hope you are enjoying the videos on my channel. I've got a lot more to share with you. Make sure you subscribe, and also make sure that if there's someone you know who would benefit from this, that they are subscribed to my channel, that you share this with them, and I will see you next time.